Hey guys, it's Ash, and in this video I want to go over one of the most important strategies of the game, which is counter pushing. Some of you probably already know this, and some of you probably have some idea of this strategy. Anyways, I feel like it's a very important topic to cover, especially for new players or players at the low arenas. Understanding this concept will allow you to win the majority of your battles. So usually new players, when they play a game such as this, their main focus is to stop or counter their opponent's push and then form a push of their own by again loading up a full elixir bar. However, this is not the most ideal way of playing because you're just allowing your opponent to also generate or load up on elixir and then counter your push at the other end. So in this video, I'm going to show you guys how to punish your opponent when he's lacking in elixir with a powerful push, and how you can easily calculate or predict whether your opponent has the elixir to defend against you or not. So say your opponent starts with a strong push with the Prince and Dark Prince. Both of these troops share great synergy together, the Prince dealing heavy single target damage, while the Dark Prince does splash damage to counter the weaknesses of a Prince. However, it is a horrible way to start a battle. Your opponent uses a total of 9 elixir to make this push happen, which you can choose to use 9 elixir or even less to counter this threat. But as long as you can stop this push, you will be in charge. What I mean is, say you use a giant to shield against both of the double princes and use minions and archers behind the giant to kill the princes. So basically you use the total of 11 elixir to counter a 9 elixir push. Is this a bad play? No, it absolutely isn't. It's actually a very good play because this way your giant took less damage and allowed your archers and minions to quickly kill the double prince, which means that the giant can now also shield for your archers and minions as they then go for your opponent's arena tower. Now at this point your opponent has only 2 more elixir than you do, but you're in charge because of your powerful counter push, and it's now going to be very difficult for your opponent to completely counter your incoming threat because he just wasted 9 elixir for his rush attack. So this leaves him with enough elixir to use his arrows, which will kill the minions but not enough to kill the giant and the archers supported behind it. So now your opponent spent 12 elixir while you spent 11 elixir and still are able to do very good damage against your opponent. This is how you counter push, and this is how you should always focus on playing when you counter your opponent's push. So yeah, every time your opponent comes in with the push, always look to combine your counter with a strong combination, making it twice as hard for your opponent to stop you because he just wasted a lot of his elixir on his push and now doesn't have enough elixir needed to stop your counter push. And this is also the main reason why you should never rush, because if you take the initiative every time, then you're allowing your opponent to counter push you, and you really don't want that. So let's use more examples. Say your opponent comes in with the Hog Rider backed up by Goblins, which is a 6 elixir combo. You have Cannon and Minions, which is also 6 elixir to easily stop this push. So your opponent zaps your minions and weakens them to the point where their arena tower can one-shot them all. So then your opponent spends 8 elixir and you spend 6 elixir on the counter. So in essence, you've successfully countered. But what you should have done was add in your Hog Rider in front of those minions for the counter push. Even if your minions are at 1% health, they can still be used for a powerful counter push when shielded. So then if your opponent uses a cannon, he has now spent a total of 11 elixir, while you spent 10 elixir with your cannon, minions, and now Hog Rider, and have complete control. And this is all a result of you converting your defense, which was with your minions, and then adding your Hog Rider for a powerful offensive push. And this is the best move because if you let your minions die and load it up on elixir, then you will also be allowing your opponent to load up on elixir. So your window of opportunity to strike with your Hog Rider would be gone, because at that point your opponent will have much more elixir to easily stop your Hog Rider push. Another example is, say you're behind an elixir and your opponent goes with a powerful combo with the giant backed up by a witch and a musketeer. Well, by placing Valkyrie in the middle of the witch and musketeer and placing your mini P.E.K.K.A on the giant, you can successfully counter this 14 elixir push with your 8 elixir without incurring too much damage, and then completely overwhelm your opponent on the other end. So then of course you want to focus on the counter push. Whenever you're countering, you always want to think counter push. So adding your fire spirits and the zap spell would be an incredible combo with your mini P.E.K.K.A and Valkyrie counter push. And most of the time, it's better to mitigate the damage of your opponent's offensive combo and form a powerful counter push. What I mean is, you don't have to always completely shut down your opponent's push. Sometimes it's better to sacrifice a little health, save your elixir, and focus on the counter push. One example I can give you is when my opponent comes in with a lone Hog Rider push. I can counter it easy with my Infernal Tower, but I would actually be losing value if I use my 5 Elixir Infernal Tower to counter the 4 Elixir Hog Rider. So instead, I'll use my 1 Elixir Skeletons to defeat the Hog Rider and sacrifice a little tower health but gain huge value by killing a 4 Elixir card with the 1 Elixir card. If my opponent uses a Zap spell, then he loses even more value by using a 2 Elixir Zap spell to beat my 1 Elixir Skeletons. Not only that, right after I kill the Hog Rider, I can then focus on punishing my opponent heavily because I'm leading by 3 Elixir thanks to countering his 4 Elixir Hog Rider with my 1 Elixir Skeletons. I can then add my Skeletons with my Hog Rider and form a deadlier push while leading by 3 Elixir. So that will be it for my short tutorial on counter pushing, which is one of the most important strategies of the game. So hope you guys liked it, and I'll try to have more of these tutorials and try to go in depth with more high level strategies. So thanks for watching, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe for more daily Clash Royale content. I'll see you guys again soon. Later.